We continue our reading of Lest We Forget, a daily devotional by author George R. Knight. Today's reading, October 31, Education Evangelism. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him, male and female, he created them. Genesis 1:27. Ellen White's book Education takes the topic of pedagogy out of the realm of mundane and transfers it to a crucial issue in the great controversy. On its second page, it provides Adventist education with its ultimate purpose. Quote, "In order to understand what is comprehended in the work of education," we read, "we need to consider both the nature of man and the purpose of God in creating him. We need to consider also the change in man's condition through the coming in of a knowledge of evil, and God's plan for still fulfilling his glorious purpose in the education of the human race." End quote. Education, page 14 and 15. At that point, the book begins to treat those 4 points, indicating that 1, God created human beings in his image to be like him, and 2, that they had infinite potential. Next, it gets very specific and quite pertinent to the human situation. But 3, by disobedience, this was forfeited. Through sin, the divine likeness was marred and well nigh obliterated. Man's physical powers were weakened, his mental capacity was lessened, his spiritual vision dimmed, he had become subject to death. 4. Yet the race was not left without hope. By infinite love and mercy, the plan of salvation had been devised, and a life of probation was granted to restore in man the image of his Maker, to bring him back to the perfection in which he was created, to promote the development of body, mind, and soul, that the divine purpose in his creation might be realized. This was to be the work of redemption. This is the object of education, the great object of life. Education, page 15 and 16. Later in the book, Ellen White puts it even more bluntly when she notes that individuals, quote, "can find help in but one power. That power is Christ. Cooperation with that power is man's greatest need. In all educational effort, should not this cooperation be the highest aim? In the highest sense, the work of education and the work of redemption are one." End quote. The teacher's first effort and his constant aim is to introduce students to Jesus and his principles. Education, page 29 and 30. With those thoughts in mind, it is no wonder that Adventists have supported Christian education for both of their own children and those of others through sacrificial giving. They have recognized the truth that education is in actuality evangelism. This concludes our reading today of Lest We Forget.